From Rawalpindi to Chennai and Kanpur, Bangladesh moved from delight to despair, from belief to being blown away, from an emotional high to feeling hapless against a fiery Indian team. Bangladesh done and dusted in less than 180 overs in Kanpur. They sunk without a trace, trounced by a team that did what seemed unthinkable, improbable 2 evenings ago, marshaled by a gutsy daredevil duo of Rohit Sharma and Gautam Gambhir. All that India needed was just 95 runs to seal the deal here in Kanpur, and they did so with 7 wickets to spare. India kickstart this new season with a 2-0 series win. For Bangladesh, though, from beating Pakistan 2-0 and losing to India 2-0 to India is as much a rude shock as it is a reality check. Dinesh Karthik joins us on Cricbuzz Chatter. The result of the series might have been guessed or predicted by most, but the manner in which India have won, especially in the second test, tells you that we are in for a very, very special era in the months and years ahead.
At the start of the series, I remember having a conversation with Harsha, and we were discussing Bangladesh having had a very good tour of Pakistan, coming to India with a lot of confidence. And I somehow felt that India in India is a different beast altogether. We have a lot of questions pouring in for hashtag ACB, and they had asked the same question as well. What do you think, DK? Bangladesh is coming after a very strong and confident win against Pakistan, coming back from tough situations. And I answered it saying, beating India in India is a different challenge altogether, boss. As you would know, there are certain places that certain home teams feel too comfortable playing in. And India at the moment have got some priceless bowlers. Ashwin and Jadeja, who double up as two quality all-rounders. Jasprit Bumrah, what a bowler he is. When the heat is on, he just delivers. So many good performers. And with the bat, we know what we can expect. So a very commanding win, one that will give perspective to Bangladesh, saying our bowling is not in a bad place, but our batting needs to be looked at. On that pitch, to get bundled out twice in under 2 days, that's not good enough.
But credit where it's due to the Indian team. They came in with a certain vigor, with a certain, I wouldn't use the word vengeance, but they had a certain mission given to them by their captain, and they acted on it with absolute perfection on day 4 and day 5. Day 5, of course, started with Ashwin getting the wicket of the man in form, Mominul Haq. Such smart captaincy is almost like a game of chess was being played with the field placings and with what Mominul had done in the first innings.
Won't give too much credit to Rohit Sharma for that wicket, because from Chennai, Ashwin has been asking for the leg slip fielder. And eventually on this pitch, because it's kids, Rohit felt fine, you can have that. And he's been targeting into the middle and leg consistently. What has happened in this Kanpur pitches, outside the off stump, there's nothing for the bowler to work with. And on the stumps, he wasn't getting too much turn. So immediately he reverted to a middle and leg line, because the bounce or the lack of bounce can be your friend in case they play a bad defense, and the LBW comes in the picture. But more importantly, batters tend to look to play a sweep shot when it's on the middle and leg stump. And he was hoping that Momin will either get LBW or get caught behind in slips. And luckily for him, he got the outside edge. When I say luckily for him, I meant Ashwin got the outside edge. And a very good, clever catch taken by KL Rahul, because you're blinded for a second when that sort of a thing happens. It comes straight off the bat. A real good, thoughtful spell from Ashwin at the start. Just got the 1 wicket for the day, but he kind of opened it up for India to say it can be a very, very good day.
Right. The first hour, we didn't see Ravindra Jadeja in action. Post drinks, he came in, I think it was in the second over that Rohit Sharma brought him on. 3 wickets in 3 overs. Ravindra Jadeja somehow has a knack of making things happen. Is it the pace variation? Because he's not a big turner of the ball like Shane Warne was. Or what is it? Is it just pace variation? Because the short man happens to get extra bounce as well. He got that 1 wicket caught behind, which is courtesy extra bounce. What makes him as effective as he is? And what special did you do today?
Ravindra Jadeja's bowling is simple. Consistency. He hits the line and length on a coin, literally, almost every ball. Poor shot played by Shanto, and that opened up the floodgates. Yeah. After that, there was no stopping India. From 91 for 3, they became 94 for 7 in the next few overs. And that was started by Ravindra Jadeja's spell. He was 3 for 3 at a stage. Terrific figures to start off with. And he ended up with just the 3 wickets. But If you see all three dismissals in isolation, poor shot by Shanto. The best ball from Jadeja for the day was Litton Das, again playing a very doubtful shot. It wasn't one that he committed into. And then the third wicket that fell, Shakib Al Hasan, just a tentative prod. Not the best spell from Jadeja, but a very important one considering India were running against time and they wanted wickets in a hurry. That Shanto shot pretty much finished it for Bangladesh at that stage.
Yeah, he almost destroyed that middle order with 3 wickets in 3 overs. It's not something that most people predicted about Jadeja at the start of his career. He came in through the Chennai Super Kings, had a horrid first ever T20 World Cup in England, and so he's had to conquer the demons on the outside, the demons of reputation, if you like. And here's what he said: that he's had to gradually improve his game, and it has paid off for him in the last few years. He's been playing Test cricket since 10 years, and as he said, as a youngster. He started in white ball cricket and everyone thought he was a white ball specialist. Now here he is, DK, 3,000 plus test runs and 300 plus test wickets.
I think he started his journey with Rajasthan Royals. I remember the first IPL match ever for Jadeja was against Delhi Daredevils. And who was part of that Delhi Daredevils team? Yours truly. And that's my first memory of Ravindra Jadeja. Came in at number 6. Batted very decently. They struggled to get runs, but he got a 30-40 odd, hit one of the left arm spinners for a long 6 in Delhi, I remember still. And straight away, you knew there is talent. Now, what that has manifested into, because of what work he has put in, is exactly what that statement means. They said he was a white ball superstar. Shane Warne, the late, great Shane Warne, christened him the rock star. And till today, it still stands, the rock star Jadeja. He is an absolute rock star in world cricket, but his greatest improvement has come in this test format. And interestingly, as we sit here today, I think it's fair to say test cricket has been his strongest suit in the last decade as well, has just grown in stature with the bat, with the ball. And if there is a player who is worth a lot in subcontinent conditions with the bat and the ball currently, it has to be Jadeja.
His Chennai association is so strong that very often we forget that he started out with the Rajasthan Royals, and of course that Shane Warne rockstar connection. There's another man with a very strong Chennai and Tamil Nadu connection. Ashwin is making a bit of a habit of winning Man of the Series awards for India, and he's been a key hero in India's domination at home as well in the last 11 years. Take a look at that: 11 awards of the Player of the Series in 102 Test matches. Look at that conversion rate.
It's unreal. He's literally climbed Mount Everest with the ball. The number of Man of the Series awards competing with Muralidharan. Now, Muralidharan, we all know, was literally the lone whole and soul for Sri Lanka. Whereas with Ashwin, he's had many bowlers that he's bowled with, and many cricketers have contributed quite a bit, but still to stand out, 11 Man of the Series matches. And interestingly, he has more Man of the Series awards than Man of the Match awards. Now, that is not a record that a lot of people can have. So that's the kind of effort that he's put in through the years. He's always fighting with his body more than anything else. Unlike a lot of other cricketers, sportsmen, he's not the most naturally gifted, and he's worked hard on his skill. And always God finds a way of giving you when it matters most. I think again with Ravichandran Ashwin, Test cricket has been his best friend over the years. He's earned his name and stripes in Test cricket, and in a very strong way. Yes, the white ball cricket is something that he's done very well as well. He's a World Cup winner. He's someone who's done phenomenally well in IPL as well. But the red ball format, you ask him and he will tell you, is the most satisfying format for him, because just like Ravindra Jadeja, when Ashwin was coming through the ranks in under 14 and under 16, he was looked at as an off spinner who could control. Basically, what he used to do, bowl flat and fast and keep 3 fielders on the offside to the right-handers. And the batters didn't have time or strength to get under the ball to hit it on the leg side. So they just used to keep cutting. And it used to keep going to one of the 3 fielders. And he used to bowl spells of 10 overs, 20 runs, 10 overs, 24 runs. That was his role all through up to under 19. But today, having turned a leaf, with the most number of variations, and people say he's a scientist who has more variations than any bowler who's played the game, tells you how much he's improved. I've seen him grow as a cricketer, and I couldn't be happier for what he's achieved today.
Today, I think he bowled a leg spinner's googly as well. Is it any more a surprise for
Yeah,
you guys in the
yeah,
commentary
yeah.
box when he does these bizarre things, or is it par for the cause? He's Ashwin. Ashwin will do what Ashwin always does.
When a tailender comes almost every time, you know he's trying to set you up with a carom ball. But today to Mushfiqur Rahim, because the field was spread out, he felt, why not bowl the googly? The beauty is anybody can bowl a googly, but to land it on point and almost create a wicket out of it, now that is skill, and that man has, and that's why he's such a special cricketer. And again, as I keep saying, there are some cricketers who we will miss when they move into the sunset. And I feel our Ashwin Jadeja combination, the yin and yang, as they say, has been a very sound partnership in terms of all rounders in this last 5, 6 years. They've just blossomed into one who understand each other's strengths and work accordingly. Yesterday it was Ashwin who started off. Today it was Jadeja who finished it off. Outstanding.
In India, most of us believe very strongly in the concept of karma, and I believe Indian cricket must have done some great karma in the past to have the services of an absolute magician in Jasprit Bumrah. How blessed are we to watch this man at the peak of his form, an average of, I think, less than 15 playing at home. He seems to take conditions out of the equation, and he's just almost one of those jukeboxes that gives you a prize on demand. This is ridiculous. These numbers are crazy.
He is a gift that keeps giving for Indian cricket. I sometimes feel Ashwin stole that line for me because I felt I only said that he's like the Kohinoor diamond, too rare and tough to find, and we need to protect him and not allow it to be used too much. But Ashwin used that line on him, and you can see how much the players value him as well. Today, on a dull, dead wicket, there's not too much happening. Maybe for the spinners, the odd ball keeping low, they needed 3 wickets. Things were not happening. Who do they call? Jasprit Bumrah. Rohit Sharma, I think he's kept it very simple. When in doubt, call Jasprit Bumrah. Hopefully, if he has any problems in life, I hope that Rohit Sharma doesn't end up calling Jasprit Bumrah to be the problem solver for that as well. But literally, that's how he's used Jasprit Bumrah. Under pressure, Jasprit Bumrah. And today as well, the way he was able to get the ball away, the ball to Mehdi Hassan, I feel for the guy because he was applying himself, tried everything. Twice in 2 days, he's bowled an absolute jaffer to him, one that leaves the right-hander when the ball is reversing. That's a tough skill to have. You need great wrist position and backspin for you to be able to move the ball away. And it was so good to see him do that. And he's doing it consistently. We saw the ball that he bowled to Ollie Pope in against England at the start of the year. And today, Mehdi Hassan's might not be as, in terms of visual experience, might not be as good as the Ollie Pope one. But if I had to stand as a batter, I know how tough it is to play that ball. And then towards the end, last ball for lunch, India might have to waste 10 minutes in coming back and all of that. Mushfiqur Rahim, I don't know what he thought, didn't pick the slow one. Bang! Went the middle stump. And just the sight that he's able to produce for a lot of the fans to see, brilliant, outstanding cricketer.
How do you like the title Mastermind Bumrah?
Mastermind Bumrah. I mean, you can use a lot of adjectives, isn't it? Genius Bumrah, Mastermind Bumrah. Kohinoor Bumrah, probably. I don't know. We can just keep going. I think the chatter show is not long enough for us to use adjectives for him, but he is the most valuable cricketer on this planet at this point of time.
Bangladesh faced a team that has so many of its key pieces in absolute top form, and the batting didn't really do much. I thought they sort of gave up without putting on a show. Mominul Haq as well, very early, the first wicket to fall. Just 4 players in double figures, 6 of them out for less than 10. So not the kind of resistance that a team should be showing at the end of a test match, towards the end of a test match.
A very sorry, grim-looking scorecard. If you do go through that, there are 2 scores of 50 and 37. But even that, the kind of shots that they chose when they got out, it is not something that Bangladesh can do with if they want to compete in test cricket.
Yeah.
I can understand you getting 300, 320 on a Kanpur pitch, but it's not a pitch that you get twice, rather all out twice in under 2 days. That for me is not sitting well because it's a team that's come with confidence. They've played 140, 50 overs against Pakistan, and you got the feeling that they will compete, and they haven't done that this series. And there are a lot of things went their way. They won the toss on a very sticky pitch in Chennai. Still couldn't get ahead of India. They lost the toss, but I thought Rohit probably took a iffy decision, bowling first, and everything was looking good for them. These are not good signs for Bangladesh batters. I think they need to have a relook at the batters, and if the personnel is not around, then definitely they need to have discussion regarding application, temperament, and most importantly, the pride of playing for Bangladesh. These are three areas that they need to address if they want to move forward in Test cricket, because there is talent there. They're producing fast bowlers, but you can't bat like this and be a force to reckon with in Test cricket.
And I suspect they'll have to very quickly find a way to fill a huge hole that shall be created with the exit of Shakib Al Hasan. Who knows? He might have played the last Test match of his career if that series at home against South Africa doesn't work out for him. Not a memorable end to what's been a career where he's made Bangladesh proud.
Look, I don't think this Test series defines him or addresses what he is as a player. What he has done for Bangladesh over the years, no one can take away from that. He's been someone who's put the Bangladesh cricket team on the map, and he's been through some highs and massive lows as well. But overall, when he leaves, I did an interview with him in the morning. He wants to be remembered as someone who worked hard, fulfilled his potential, and gave everything for Bangladesh. And I think that's a very fair ask from him to have as his legacy. He has been a hero to a lot of the young Bangladeshi boys and girls coming up. He's done well for himself. This series, nowhere close to his best. Definitely not his best, but he's been a man where Bangladesh and their fortunes have literally been on his shoulders, and he's taken them a long way, but he's left it in a better place than what it was when he entered, and that's all you can ask from a player. I wish him all the best. If this happened to be his last Test match, I have a feeling he'll definitely play Champions Trophy. He wants to be part of the ODI setup. How long that will be, time will tell, but for the moment, you have to say it's a very successful career, and Bangladesh should be proud of having one of the best all-rounders over a period of time.
Right. In the post Shakib Al Hasan era, if you had to sort of rearrange the pieces of that batting order, there seems to be this reluctance for the more senior players to not bat higher up. Is that a tweak that you would recommend with the more experienced players like Mushfiqur to bat higher up, Litton as well?
100%. I don't know why Mushfiqur is not putting his hand up and saying, I want to bat at 3 or 4. There is no point in batting at 5. If you are a top batter, you should be batting at 3 and 4. And if you're comfortable just batting at number 5, then it is letting your team down because you want to face the heat. You're such a good player of fast bowling. Everybody knows he plays spin well. Mushfiqur needs to put his hand up and say, I want to bat at the top of the order, face the bowling when it is at its toughest. I understand at number 5, he comes when the pressure is on, takes the team, but to do that every time can be hard. But you have the potential to control the proceedings and control the narrative of the match if you bat at 3 and 4 a lot more compared to what you can do at 5 and 6. I would definitely encourage him to bat higher up the order, or at least ask the coach if it is an opportunity for him to go up the order and show the skill sets that is available for them to see, and then take a call whether it's working or not. But if it's not right, then I don't see any point. I think Najmul Shanto can definitely be a very good number 5. He plays spin very well, but he's an attacking player and will do well. But if Mushfiqur puts his hand up and says, I want to bat up the order, I don't think anybody will stop him. And I think he really should if he wants to continue playing Test cricket for Bangladesh, because there is a gaping hole at the top of the order where they're really struggling to stitch partnerships together. And someone as experienced as him will definitely bring more success to Bangladesh.
On intent and on applicants, surely they can take a leaf or 2 or 3 out of India's book, because a target of 95, India could have easily sort of sauntered their way through, but they said, no, we're going to give the crew and the commentators and everyone else an early finish so that Dinesh Karthik can take that direct flight to Chennai. And the intent, especially Yashasvi Jaiswal, once again, I think it was his 6th half century of the year, 200s already. Jaiswal at 22 is starting to become quite a star on the world stage.
I don't think you should use the word becoming. I think he's become already. He has consistently shown in any format that he's played that he's a world-class player. I am surprised he's still not made it to the ODI team. If he is not part of that team that goes to the Champions Trophy, I would be very surprised. He has all the shots, great mindset, and gives you a lot more than most others on the field. What more can you ask for? The only thing is, can he bowl? That also he's doing every day in the nets, in the warm-ups. I see him bowl leg spin. He is a complete cricketer, the superstar of the future. I think we speak a lot about Shubman Gill. He is on the same plane, if not even better at times. That's the skill level that he possesses. And sky is the limit. He's someone who's a very deep thinker. I get the feeling I've not interacted too much with him, but the hunger to bat long is already seen. 300s, 2 double hundreds, 170. It tells you about the person. Handles pressure well. The team wants to get off to a flyer, he's there. If the team wants to fight it out like it needed in Chennai in the first day, he was there. For me, he's ticked all boxes. What I would like to see from Yashasvi is when they go to Australia to get those big runs, which he's very capable of.
What is that technical tweak that you'd suggest, or a tweak that he'll have to make once he lands in Australia? There's still about 52 days left for that Perth Test match at the end of November.
I don't think technically there is anything he needs to change or even should change. He's batting well. All he needs to do is, yes, the good length ball or the short of length ball will carry through a lot more. So at the start of his innings, the back foot defense and the balls that he plays to mid-off is something that he needs to be wary about. But knowing him, he will work on that and he will go. When he looks to hit, or rather when he gets into an aggressive frame of mind, that's when that could be a problem. But if he decides to play like how he started in Chennai, where he wants to leave a lot more, even that ball won't be a problem. So for him, it is not so much technical, it is the mental side of things, because through his time in Australia, he has to bat at a certain tempo to understand what that pace could be. It could be pretty different to what he is playing right now. And the moment he gets a hang of that template, he is going to be a success even on that tour.
He needs about 800 and a bit more to break Mohammad Yusuf's record for the most runs in a calendar year. And he's got about 3 and 4, 7 test matches coming up in this calendar year. Happening, not happening?
I think it's very hard. It's never easy to score 800 runs in 7 matches. But I won't be surprised if he does it. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd say it's very hard.
He's got the right captain who will back him, believe in him. Because Rohit Sharma's captaincy is seeing greater things happening with every phase. That T20 World Cup, here he is. Test match almost seemed gone because of the rain, and then he makes his team create a result out of nowhere. And the willingness to take a risk is something that perhaps defines this test match. Of course, the Mamba mentality borrowed from the great Kobe Bryant at the NBA as well, very much part of the DNA of this Rohit Sharma side. So it's a team that is willing to take the risk, stick their neck out and back themselves to make a result happen.
They made it uncomfortable for some of the batters because they wanted to play at such a high tempo. And I know for a fact that they had to bat out of their comfort zone. And that's what the Rohit Sharma Gambhir era is going to be filled with. Push people out of their comfort zone on and off the field. And that will get the results that they are looking for. This test match is an astounding win, unprecedented, to beat a team which came in as a confident team in under 2 days, after 2 days being washed out completely, still managing to do it with 45 overs to spare. Very, very cool from the Rohit Gauti partnership so far.
These results can make fans greedy, and therefore there's a question that might seem tricky. It's coming up for DK in the hot spot. Right, DK 2-0. We've seen India dominating. Looking at what India have done at the start of this season, what is your scoreline prediction for the series against New Zealand and then against Australia?
Asking me questions like I'm Nostradamus. I'm never one to predict scorelines, but I know for a fact that India will do everything possible to beat New Zealand 3-0. That's the result that they're running after, only because that gives them an assurity of being in that World Test Championship final. And that's their biggest goal. The moment they're able to achieve that, then they go into Australia with a lot less pressure, because then you can play the Australian series as you want without getting too nervous about what needs to be looked at for the future, which is the World Test Championship final. But if you had to ask me, I'll predict the New Zealand scoreline. I think it's going to be 3-0. Also, considering New Zealand haven't had the best of series against Sri Lanka on turning pitches, won't be surprised if the pitches favor a little more of the spinners than the fast bowlers.
We are going to try and squeeze out that India-Australia prediction from you on the next episode of Hey CV. So that's what our viewers need to watch out for. Moving on.
But I'll tell you this. I have said this, and I've said this on my Hey CB show as well, and I'll say it again on Chatter as well. Australia, as we speak, have the upper hand in their home conditions today.
Okay, to borrow from Mr. Bogle's lines, we will wait and see. We'll find out. The WTC points table, how is that looking like? India at 1 has strengthened this position after winning these 2 test matches, and a huge gap opening up between India and the rest of the pack. Bangladesh have now gone down to number 7. Their positions weakened after losing this series 2-0. So it does increasingly look like it's going to be India v Australia at Lord's June 2025.
I'm looking forward to that game. I would love to be a part of it. Not playing. Don't get worried. As a broadcaster, but most importantly, it's 2 good teams who've had a lovely year so far in Test cricket. And the best part is they're going to be playing 5 Test matches against each other before that World Test Championship final. Really looking forward to that series. But most importantly, we have the New Zealand series before that. But as we sit here today, I have to say, India and Australia, the front runners to get to that final at Lord's.
Right. There's a lot more cricket coming up, and Cricbuzz, as always, will have its Hawkeye set on all that happens in the world of cricket. The lovely Lisa Stalekar, the very insightful Lisa Stalekar, ICC Hall of Famer as well, will try and create a lot of fun content around the Women's T20 World Cup. We'll have our eyes on the India-Bangladesh T20 series as well. And then Cricbuzz Chatter returns on day 1 of the New Zealand Test match in Bengaluru. That's on the 16th of October this month. However, while all that happens on one side, you shall get entertained with the regular episodes of Hey CV. DK, you are making a bit of a habit out of it. It's become an integral part of your life, isn't it?
Yeah, every week I have to get ready. There's questions thrown at me, and it's been a very pleasurable part of the week, to be honest. I look forward to it. There's a lot of fun questions there. They're getting a little tougher to answer. And the worst part is, our producers. They want to put you through the grind. So I have to really make sure I have to, make my way through some choppy waters. But most importantly, Manish, just want to wish all the teams participating in the T20 Women's World Cup all the very best. But more importantly, Harmanpreet Kaur and company, big luck to you all. It's a tournament that is there for Team India to definitely win because they've been playing some good cricket. Yes, they have some front runners in Australia, good teams in South Africa, New Zealand, England as well. But I think India, if they play to their potential, will surprise a few there.
An early dinner awaits Dinesh Karthik and then a flight to Chennai where his kids and his wife are waiting. So DK, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun as always. And we'll see you once again very soon. Where else? Madam Cricbuzz.